Kia ora koutou, I'm Dom, one of MetService's meteorologists, and today I'm talking about coastal forecasts that we produce. Now, Aotearoa is made up of many islands, and as a result we have the 9th largest coastline in the world, some 15,000 kilometres. Now, we split this 15,000 kilometres into 18 areas, including the Chatham Islands all the way out here. Within these areas, we forecast the wind, the weather, the sea state, and the swell. These areas extend 60 nautical miles, or roughly 100 kilometres, offshore. Now, the wind, we use an 8-point compass, something like that, to tell you where the wind is coming from. So a northerly comes from the north and heads south. For wind speed, we round to the nearest 10 knots. For us to introduce a change in the wind condition, the wind direction must change at least 90 degrees, so from northerly to easterly, for example. Or the wind speed must increase or decrease by at least 10 knots. Here's an example in Cook. We have northerly 20 knots, but 10 knots north of Cape Terefiti, which is about here. In this instance, it's very important because the land is all of a sudden getting closer together, and so the wind has a narrower passage to pass through, speeding it up. So in a northerly, the wind increases in that passage and then is faster in the south. And this is illustrated in the forecast here. Now, we're allowed to split coastal areas into two, provided there is a significant change in between those areas. Castle Point is an interesting area. In strong westerlies, the Tararua Range will accelerate the winds over top of it, and they will blast the coastal area out to sea. Fovo Strait, similar to Cook, with the narrowing of the land. Pusica Point out here, with the land around the corner, the winds accelerate. Similarly for East Cape up here. And along the west coast of the South Island, strong northwesterlies will bank up against the Southern Alps, turn into a northeasterly, and could even reach gale. When it comes to sea state, we end up talking about moderate, rough, high sea states. These translate into wave heights using the Douglas Sea State Scale. Here's an example: rough sea easing. We only talk about the worst condition during the forecast period and a trend. For the weather, we talk about the weather phenomena and also the reduction in visibility. Now, we only mention weather phenomena that will reduce visibility below 9 kilometres. And then we will use these descriptors to show you how much visibility you may or may not have. Some examples include thunderstorms, where you could get very poor or poor visibility in some of those downpours. Fog will always be very poor visibility. You cannot see more than a couple of hundred metres in a very dense fog. Rain will vary depending on whether it's heavy, light, moderate. Similarly with showers, in this case, it's poor visibility. Now, when it comes to swell, this is the energy of the ocean that is being propagated away from the energy source. So in this case here, we have energy that is being generated all the way down in Antarctica, and it's coming up to the east of the country, some 5 or 6 metres in some cases, and then gradually dissipating and moving away, affecting the Chatham Islands quite a lot. When we talk about swell in our forecasts, we talk about the wave period, the swell height, and the swell direction. So a southwesterly swell comes from the southwest and heads northeast. When we talk about wave period, this is the time it takes for 2 crests or 2 troughs to pass the same location. An example, southwest swell 2 metres. When the wave period is less than 12 seconds, we just won't mention it. Similarly, here in Plenty, we have no swell mentioned because it was less than a metre. This is not considered to be significant. We issue gale warnings for greater than 33 knots but less than 48, and storm warnings for wind speeds getting greater than 47 knots. This looks like orange coastal areas for gales and red coastal areas for storms. Now, where can you find these? Our website and our app are primarily the first places to look. However, if you do not have internet access, tune your VHF radio to channel 16 and you'll find our forecasts there broadcast routinely. That's all for now. Kia pai tō rā.